Lock it in. It's time for that Culture for the Streets, hosted by Mafia and Paint. Ain't no news like street news. Whether you're here for the streets or you're here for the news, hit that like button and subscribe to the culture. Now we gotta talk about Lil Baby, because his name lately has been ringing, not just on the news, but in these YouTube streets. And getting away from Dirk before Dirk went down for his cases don't seem to be doing Lil Baby no justice, because right now he's so hot you can scramble an egg on this nigga back. It makes more sense now why he changed the label name from 4PF to something else, because he already knew in the last minute late attempt to change the brand name from the street name that it was some attention on him that he didn't want on him, and it probably was gonna fall back on him and his biz. And Lil Baby's biggest problem now ain't just selling 1 million records. Your biggest problem now is that the police speaking out about the violence that's going on in Atlanta, and they using you as the face for the reason all of this is going on in them streets. This ain't good. Now, the local authorities spoke out calling Lil Baby a coward after recent events that's going on in Atlanta and blaming him for these events. And they made it clear that they blame him and they want him in jail, so he's a target. Rumors surfaced on the internet that Lil Baby had been arrested, and he took to social media to let everybody know that that was cap and that he was at home chilling. I do think Lil Baby need to go ahead, get him 2, 3, 4 lawyers, get ready, because I smell the heat coming like breakfast being cooked in the kitchen in the morning. And I don't want to see nobody in jail, but Lil Baby should know that breakfast and jail ain't the same. And these folks trying to put him in jail, I smell these folks trying to hit him with the R.I.C.O Suave. Let me know what y'all think in the comments before we get into this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the culture.
For 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city. And cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings, and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
Now, when the police get on the news, specifically call your name, blame you for the violence, call you a coward, and insist that they want to see you arrested, they want to see you be the blame and go down about some of the stuff that's going on around you in your city. They blaming you for a lot of these situations and the violence in your city. I ain't the smartest nigga in the book, but as a street nigga, right? The last thing we ever want to hear is the police get on the news, get on the microphone and say these things. It lets you know that you are a target. It lets you know that you on the radar. You know what that does? That's better than milk or magnesia when you constipated. Because hearing that the police are targeting you, it sends you straight to the restroom. You gotta use the toilet. You on the toilet ASAP. This rumbles your stomach, right? So I know Lil Baby is kind of in the squeeze right now, because this ain't no play situation, man. And at the same time, I need to know, can anybody tell me, like, what happened to Atlanta? Because what we seeing today ain't the Atlanta that we know. We know a lot of these niggas. The emphasis about Atlanta, the trademark about Atlanta was about getting money. It always been having fun, turning up, Southern hospitality, and money. I think these niggas forgot about Fonnie Willis because she got in trouble. But just because she got in trouble don't mean the topic that she was trying to emphasize, being the rappers in her city that may be tied to gang, that may be doing criminal activities. She targeted them. is people still on the list that she was insinuating. We still got people that we looking at that's rappers from this city that we trying to hit with R.I.C.Os. Did we forget about that? We forgot about Fonnie, huh? Did we not just see YFN Lucci, Young Thug, go through these same types of situations because of what they had going on? So to see Lil Baby mixed up in all of this, and it's actual victims, it's people that have been unalived because of this, and you being blamed for it. Changing your brand, your company name from 4PF, and so it don't have no street ties, don't do you no justice.
Rapper like Lil Baby shooting a video, it's gonna be a big scene.
That's exactly right. And the residents we spoke to this morning say they were so excited to see Grammy Award-winning Lil Baby. But they say that excitement really quickly turned into fear when what they believe was a drive-by shooting occurred. And now Atlanta PD is investigating.
That happened, it was just too much for me.
Residents in the Dixie Hills neighborhood say Tuesday's shooting on Verbranda Street that occurred on the set of a music video featuring popular Atlanta rapper Lil Baby has them on edge.
We just heard pow, 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 and that thing over, and we grabbed the kids, and everybody was just running. It was a whole bunch of chaos.
The Atlanta Police Department's Violent Crime Unit is now investigating the incident that left 3 people shot. Officials say one person was hit in the arm, another in the neck, and a third in the back. And while all are expected to survive, police say the shooting may be part of a bigger problem with gang activity.
Several of the individuals in the city that are involved in some of these hybrid rap performance groups are involved in certain conflicts throughout the city. So us as a city of Atlanta, we do want to be proactive in making sure that our gang unit is on scene and at the on front of any potential matters that could escalate as a result of a shooting of this nature.
Woke Folks says
it ain't even as a rapper today. It used to be a thing as a rapper, right? They come out in your city, they be out in your hood, and it bring the whole city out, it bring the whole neighborhood out, and people enjoy that because they see that person that they usually see on TV in real time. People enjoyed that. It was almost like a block party because of that, right? Why would Lil Baby having the status that he has? This is almost as stupid as what YFN Lucci did, buying the Maybach and then rolling through YSL hood and getting active on niggas from YSL. You see what I'm saying? And your homie get knocked down and then you throwing him out the car and pulling off in the Maybach. Going to your ops hood when you know already you ain't welcome there. To shoot a video. In today's climate of hip hop and the streets, because it's mixed together, you need the streets and you need the rap game to make the dope good, right? Why would you do this? You could have shot this video in your hood. No violence, I'm sure, would have happened. But instead, you go to your ops hood, shoot a video in their hood. Who's going to agree with that? Who's going to not have an issue with that? Man, come on, man. Let me know in the comments. Do y'all think that was dumb? Why do these rap niggas do dumb shit? That'll put them in a situation like this. When you got so much money, you can stay so far away from situations like this. It's weird to me, man.
Children and other bystanders were also on scene of the music video when the about 30 shots rang out. And as police try to piece together who's responsible and what led up to the shooting, neighbors we spoke to say the violence is getting out of hand.
It's ridiculous that you can't come outside and have a good time or show some love in the neighborhood because You always want to argue, fight, and shoot and kill, and that's a problem. They need to take these damn guns off the street.
The Atlanta Police Department said they received a call on July 2nd, 2024, about a person shot along Spark Street. When officers arrived, they found 3 juveniles with gunshot wounds.
Before we continue, man, shout out OG Jakoby, man, for the content, man. If you ain't hip to OG Jakoby, man, go to his YouTube channel, subscribe to his channel. He got fire content. That's why you see me right now reacting to his video, because he came correct. Shout out to OG Jakoby, man.
Jakoby Davis and Lamont Freedman, both 13, were killed in the shooting. A 12-year-old victim was also injured. Police say that the suspects opened fire on the Spark Street apartment complex where Freeman and his friends were celebrating his birthday.
Now a Channel 2 Action News exclusive, the father of an 11-year-old.
Shout out, condolences and prayers to the families of Jakoby and Lamont. This is always sad because us as adults, period, you know how they used to say it takes a village to raise a kid. I feel like today the village has become, they're in fear, they're living in fear of the young. So it's making it hard for the village to raise the child, because the child, most of the adults fear the child. So how can the village raise the child? So in return, our children are in danger behind things they don't even have nothing to do with. And once you shoot that blick, them shells don't got no name on them. So when the kids is outside playing, enjoying being a kid, no care in the world, they shouldn't have to care about being on point, because I might have to duck. Because when did we lose our morals to where the problem you got with somebody is that intense that you need to get at them and risk the lives of innocent people? Not just innocent people, but kids, bro.
Old boy injured in a deadly shooting tells Channel 2 Action News that his son has had multiple surgeries since he got shot in the foot. Channel 2's Michael Seiden live outside APD headquarters. Michael, the 11-year-old victim, is the younger brother of one of the teenagers who got killed in that shooting.
Yeah, George, just a heartbreaking story. In fact, this afternoon, I stood just feet away from where that deadly shooting took place. I also spoke exclusively with one of the homicide detectives. She told me she and her team are working around the clock, 24/7. They are following up on any leads they can get, also knocking on neighbors' doors, looking for some security video. A growing memorial near the spot where gun violence shattered the lives of 3 innocent children. It all happened around 12:30 a.m. Tuesday in Atlanta's Oakland Park neighborhood. Today, we watched as homicide detectives spread out across.
You see what I'm talking about? We ain't talking about, they didn't slide through on this particular, at this particular time and just knock down their targets, right? It seemed like everybody except their targets got hit. So innocent people became victims of something that they don't have no attachment to, because people that careless of what they do. We ain't mindful of the kids no more. So it's gangster now to not care about putting kids in harm's way. Is that what we doing now? Because we see this a lot, right?
Across the area as they continue to search for suspects. Not a secret, there are gangs in this area. There's been some reports of possibly a gang war going on, and these kids got caught up in the crossfire. What can you say about that?
All I can tell you is these young kids they had absolutely no ties to gangs.
Police say Lamont Freedman was celebrating his 14th birthday with his best friend and classmate, 13-year-old Jakoby Davis. Jacoby's younger brother, 11-year-old Dontavius Davis Jr., was also there when the three boys found themselves under attack.
They were hanging out with each other right outside their apartments.
The gunfire killed Lamont and Jakoby, but Dontavius survived after getting shot in the foot. Dontavius' father shared this photo of his son recovering in a hospital bed.
Every kid wants to feel.
Now understand how this little kid got to move on in life, right? He lost a loved one. He part of a traumatic experience that he got to live out for the rest of his life, right? On top of bounce back from his injuries over something that he ain't had nothing to do with. They wasn't aware that this was gonna happen. They kids, bruh. So to see him laying in that hospital bed and to know that it's 2 more hospital beds that 2 other kids should be recovering in too, this situation shouldn't have never happened in the first place. So they shouldn't even have to recover, because it's gangster to make sure that we protect the innocent, bruh. Gangster then became so cool that we don't care about the kids no more. It's cool to jump in the car with the blick and hit the corner, see your ops, even though the kids outside double dutching, playing football, hopscotch, and still bounce out the car and put innocent people in harm's way because you see an opportunity to do something to somebody you don't agree with. So you disregard the lives of all the innocent people that may be around. Man, the streets is dried up. It ain't no morals no more. So the people of today that promote the streets, they market the streets. They love the streets more than they family. They listen to the street more. These are the biggest idiots of today. I'm just being honest. Today we live in a world where the steppers talk about who they stepped on. The hustlers talk about who they serving and who the plug is. The girls take part in unaliving people. So they getting unalived in return because the ops feel them being responsible for their partner being gone. So then we see young females get took out the situation too. Man, the streets is crazy right now, specifically Atlanta. Because what happened to Atlanta, bro? We went from long t-shirts, dancing, everybody happy, good vibes only, to everything's about gangs. It ain't even about the money no more. It ain't about getting money like it used to be no more. Once Meek went to jail, it was about gang banging and who the ops is and stepping. Like, what happened to Atlanta? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what in the world happened to Atlanta, bro. This ain't the same Atlanta we talking about when we seen the Jeezys and the T.I.s and the Gucci's and the franchise boys and the, you see what I'm saying? The Nuck a Few Bucks and the you don't want no problem, little Scrappies and the East Side Boys and Lil Jon and Pastor Troy's. We so long departed from that, man. Atlanta is not, it's like Atlanta's not Atlanta, no, it's something else. You can't tell me it's not a R.I.C.O coming, bruh. And they doing all this talking on the news and 4PF stamped all over everything that's on the news, everything that the police saying. Pay attention to what's going on. If you don't think of RICO coming down on Lil Baby,
feel free and feel safe right outside their home. And they were ambushed.
There were innocent kids when go to Sylvan Middle School. This could be your kids, your family member, your loved ones.
Now, people, particularly in the hip-hop music community, are demanding more security at these music videos. If you look here behind me, you can actually still see the crime scene tape wrapped around that pole over there. Witnesses say in this very spot is where at least 30 gunshots were fired.
Artists got to take the responsibility for themselves, man. This is your life.
A personal plea from revered Atlanta rapper and activist Pastor Troy.
Man, there's so much violence.
Here along Verbena Street in Northwest Atlanta Tuesdays, where a simple music video shoot turned into an actual shooting.
It caught everyone here by surprise.
Atlanta police say someone took out a gun and opened fire. People in the area, including many children, ducked for cover while nearly 30 gunshots went off. 3 people were shot, 1 person shot in the arm, the other in the neck, and a 3rd person shot in the back. They all survived.
The people that were shot were not a part of the video production team.
Now, witnesses here told us that the rapper Lil Baby was here on the scene, but he left well before the shooting started. As for those victims, Atlanta police told me they are interviewing the victims, trying to get more information about this shooting.
They got with to see that. You gotta know that somewhere along the line is some kind of case getting put together because they don't get on the news and talk about you all the time without putting some consequences down on the people they constantly talking about. This something Lil Baby gotta worry about. I know last year we was talking about all this 4PF, possible RICOs, Future might be, all of these 21 Savage. It was so many names. Cardi, Playboy Cardi. Don't forget, nigga, that incident with them kids happened last year. Right? And they bringing it up this year because there's still other things going on. And now you being blamed for it. This ain't good for Lil Baby. This ain't good for 4PF. He was smart enough to get away from dirt, but not smart enough to move right when he got away from dirt for himself in his own backyard. Y'all don't find that weird? It's time for that, Coach, for the streets. Ain't no news like street news. Whether you here for the news or you here for the streets, hit that like button, subscribe to the culture. We gonna wrap this shit up. Lil Baby getting too much money to want to get in the car and go shoot a video in his ops hood. So me being from the streets and understanding how it go outside, I understand why his enemies would be mad that he did that. I understand why the nigga that's sitting in prison put the price on him and sent them people, because the disrespect, nigga. Niggas is too rich to be worried about being disrespectful, bruh. That's just what it is. When did it become a good thing for you to make it out, get rich, and still be worried about people that's broke that you don't like? You feel what I'm saying? Atlanta ain't the place you go to no more because you want to get the deal and you want to kick it and you want to turn up and it ain't too many risks. Nigga, you can barely park your car. Signs everywhere that tell you, listen, man, lock your doors, because even with your doors locked, they won't break your windows and take everything. That's all over the city. You got people from other states and cities going to Atlanta, stealing car parts, stealing Chargers, SRTs. It went from being a hub. It's still a hub to get money. It's still a hub that got a stronghold on money being the emphasis and the trend and the fad, right? But the negativity, it's always been in Atlanta, but it never overshadowed the limelight. Hip hop and the culture of hip hop had on Atlanta. The streets of Atlanta never overshadowed the culture of hip hop in Atlanta. It influenced it, but it didn't overshadow it. Today, the talent is being overshadowed by the image. And when I say that, the image is more important than the talent, because niggas worried about what niggas say about them outside. You worried about validation from your section and where you come from. Nigga, when you make it out, you got a new address, nigga. When you become an entrepreneur, your friends need to change, because if them niggas ain't entrepreneurs, how long you think you gonna be one? You need to start circling yourself around CEOs and entrepreneurs and niggas that got plans for themselves too, because that's what you want now. This ain't good for Lil Baby. Let me know in the comments what y'all think, man. Y'all think Lil Baby and 4PF got a R.I.C.O coming? You think he gonna be behind the wall like Lil Durk, like YFN Lucci was, like Young Thug was, like YB is?